Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to part 4 of Monday Money Messages from the Mat. Today, we are going to be taking a look at chair pose. In English, we call Utkatasana chair pose because it looks as if we are sitting back in an imaginary chair. And while we tend to think of sitting down in a chair, sitting back in an imaginary chair is harder than it appears. And in Sanskrit, Utkatasana does not actually have anything to do with a chair at all. It means fierce and powerful pose. And once you try it, you will see why. So let's take a look at chair pose today. You're going to start chair pose from a standing position. Once you are standing, you are going to inhale your arms over your head, perpendicular to the floor with your palms joined. Next, you are going to bend your knees, taking your thighs as parallel to the floor as possible. Lean back, tilt your torso forward, tuck your tailbone, draw your shoulder blades down your back, and gaze up at your palms while you begin to breathe slowly and deeply. Now, practicing chair pose requires us to rely on our own strength to build a solid foundation in our legs. Switching gears, let's talk about building a solid financial foundation. This also requires us to put a few key building blocks in place for success. And with proper practice and the proper tools, you will be that much closer to becoming fierce and powerful. So the financial tools that we are going to be talking about today are certain types of bank and investment accounts that you can set up and have in place. We're going to talk about 4 of these types of accounts today. They are the checking account, the savings account, an investment account, and a retirement account. So let's start with a checking account. I often tell my clients that a checking account is like a revolving door. This is where money comes in and quickly goes out. It's where we get paid and is most likely the place that we will perform most of our financial transactions. It's usually set up at a bank and it gives us easy access to our money. However, what if we want money to stick around for a while and not go out the revolving door? Well, this leads us to the savings account. A savings account can also be set up at a bank or other financial institution. And the purpose for setting up a savings account is to save money for expenses that don't happen on an everyday basis. In the savings account, what you're going to want to do is get in the habit of paying yourself first. Because what I find is that with most of us, we won't pay ourselves when all is said and done and all of our expenses are paid for. So again, get into the habit of paying yourself first. When money comes in or you get paid from your paycheck, send a set amount or a fixed percentage over to your savings account. You're going to want to build your savings account up anywhere from 3 to 12 months of general living expenses, depending on your personal preference and risk tolerance. Now, what if you have your savings account built up to a level that you are comfortable with? What is next in creating that solid financial foundation? Well, this is where you may consider opening what's called an investment account. An investment account can also be opened at a bank or financial institution, and it gets its name because it can have money that is actually invested in financial tools such as money market tools, stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. It's best to talk to a financial advisor to see how this money can be invested based on your own personal financial goals and situations. You would open an investment account for Expenses that are a few years away and are typically bigger than expenses that you would incur within the next 12 months. Examples include newlyweds saving up for a down payment on their first home, or parents saving up for their children's first car or even a wedding. Finally, let's talk about the retirement account. Oftentimes we forget that the best time to start saving for our golden years is now. And that's why it's so important to keep a retirement account at the forefront of our mind. Now, it sounds pretty simple. You're saving money for far down the road, for one day when you retire and you no longer have money coming in from your income. You'll use this money from your retirement account to pay expenses. Again, sounds pretty simple. However, when it comes to retirement accounts, there are many, many options, including but not limited to the traditional IRA, the Roth IRA, the SEP IRA, a 401k, and each of these accounts have different features. So again, it's best to talk to a financial advisor to see which type of retirement account is best suited to your needs and goals. Which reminds me, coming up very shortly, I am going to be having a video series and a blog series on the details of the different types of retirement accounts. So stay tuned for that. Happy savings, fierce and powerful ones, and I'll see you next Monday.